Are you sitting home right now watching this video? Do me a favor. Take a look down at your feet. You still got your shoes on? In Asian cultures, it's considered courteous and sanitary to remove your shoes before walking into a home, whether it be your own or somebody that you're visiting. That's not a custom that's practiced here in America as much as it should be. Ali Spire from architecturaldigest.com published an article on April 24th, 2020, saying that in Asian cultures, the entryway going into a home is called a ginkan. Now that entryway is a line that separates outside from inside, unclean from clean. So removing of one's shoes before coming into a house, you're leaving the unclean outside and you're bringing nothing but the clean in. Now there's just a few reasons for the removal of the shoes, more in depth: cleanliness, respect, and habit. Today we're briefly going to go over some of these main points and their reasons together. First one, cleanliness. Stacy Colino published an article March 2019 in Prevention magazine saying that 40% of shoe bottoms and 33% of floor dust samples contain spores of Clostridium difficile, which is a bacteria that causes gastrointestinal illnesses. Oh man, that's gross. Also in Asian cultures, since they sleep on floors or on mats on the floor called tatamis, they're close to the floor, so all that dust that you're bringing in, all the dirt that comes in on their shoes, they're going to be sleeping with it. So that was why they would take their shoes off, keep them outside. Not to mention, the tables that they eat on are on the floor, so they have to sit on the floor to eat. There again, you bring in the dirt and you got that bacteria floating around in your food. The second point was respect. Since you're entering someone else's home, someone else's sanctuary, you should respect their beliefs, their cultures, whatever it is that they are, because you don't want to be the reason for dirtying up their house or making them sick, especially since you wouldn't want them to do that to you. And the last point is habit. This is a custom that started way back in the thousands. Now, even though times back then are different than they are now, houses were built different back then than they are now, even the shoes you wear on your feet are different now than they were back then. Some habits is just a little difficult to break. To me, this is one of those habits that we should keep around. So as I conclude this, I leave you with this piece of information. Beitong from Sneak published an article on medium.com saying that in Asian cultures they believe that the spirit lives within the head. And since the feet are the furthest away from the spirit on your body, then it's considered to be the unclean, the most unclean that the spirit can get, and it's separated from it. So if you ever visit an Asian country or visit an Asian home, or even when you walk into somebody's home that's a friend, take a look by the door. If you see a stack of shoes sitting there, chances are they would prefer you to take your shoes off before you walk into their home. And I can almost bet you that if you do it without them asking you to, you're probably going to gain their respect a little bit more than you would if they asked you to do it. So to summarize today, I briefly shared with you 3 main reasons why it's customary to remove your shoes before entering homes starting in Asian countries: cleanliness, respect, and habit. So now that you know what your shoes bring in and the kind of dirt that it can cause or the kind of illnesses that it can cause, are you going to remove your shoes when you walk into your home? Remember, just because it's a custom and culture that you don't understand or that doesn't make sense to you, doesn't mean that you should not honor it or disrespect it. So ask yourself, when you walk into a home and you've got your shoes on, what am I bringing into my home? What kind of illnesses am I bringing in? Thank you.